Remember, these guys have egos. They have like that juice that got them to that position as a coach. Hey, I'll coach him out of it, or I'll coach him into X, Y, or Z. I'll get him to play the way we need him to play. Our system will make up for whatever he lacks, or something like that. Yeah. You see what I mean? So it's not an exact science, but the kid's going to be just fine. I think his decision-making is solid. Yeah. In critical games, it was solid. Sure, he doesn't have the numbers and attempts that you'd want to see, but neither did I coming out in the draft. I only played 16 games. So there was like this mystery allure to that. Okay, can I get him to be the quarterback I need him to be? And so I think if you're asking that about this kid, he's going to be, malleable. You can mold him into what you want. He's clearly a leader, and he has all those intangibles. I think there's plenty on tape to take the kid.
So you came out to a team that had a run game, a left tackle, and a great defense. So you had a lot of help.
Good special teams. Brad Smith came in, ran the Wildcat. We had a lot going for us.
Yeah. Maybe not as good as the Minnesota situation, which has got everything offensively.
Well, offensively, you're loaded.
And an offensive coach. You had a defensive coach that I always said on the air then, I'll say it now.
Easy. All right. Easy.
Anywho, I worry about New England, and I don't care who it is. Mark, they don't have a consistent run game. I got a new rookie coach, defense.
New coordinator in Van Pelt.
Some of this stuff is
where I like, by the way.
Where you land.
Oh, 100% where you land.
Like Drake May, I think's going third. Could you argue, sit him behind Jacoby, let him sit?
I think that school of thought is dead and archaic now.
Really?
But it's not a bad idea. You look at a lot of great, like Carson Palmer, sat behind Kit.
Go!
For your Mahomes.
Go outside.
And you sit behind a guy. But the difference is you have to have a real pro. A guy who's solid, has a great routine, somebody you want your young guy to emulate parts of his game and then be themselves, be that special player they drafted when it's time to be that player. But when it's time to be, Kitna and solid across the board, like Carson Palmer could do that. But when it was time for Carson to put on the Superman cape, boom, he did that too. And so you learn from a guy like that and you glean some of the stuff that they have. Just silly stuff like your routine before games. What do you eat the night before the game? How do you travel? What do you wear? Are you a suit and tie guy? Like, what's your approach to all this stuff? And all that's going to change, and you're going to come up with your own formula that works for you. But if you have a good one in front of you, like an Alex Smith, perfect example, knows how to check the ball down, knows where to place the football, knows how to get in and out of checks, can teach the offense to everybody. Like, that's who you want Patrick emulating, and he does it with a lot of his game. And so there's something to be said for that. There's also something to be said for, hey, we got a roster, we got to go win now. Like, I'm the GM looking at my watch like, ooh, okay, we got to make this happen now. And it's an instant gratification society, especially with the NFL. Let's go. You got a 2-3 year window, which is, for a quarterback, totally unfair. You need a 5-year run to see what we really are, who this kid really is. Is this the right system for him? Do we have to change coaches? So where you land is just as important as your talent, in my opinion.
Penix, a lot of starts. Jaden, a lot of starts. Bo Nix, a lot of starts. Most of these guys have a lot of starts. You didn't.
Mm-hmm.
If I would have given you 32 starts, Nix has 61. Do you think, Mark, so I look at these quarterbacks and I'm like, man, I could see all of them working with the right fit. And mostly I look at that and I think, they've all got like 30, 40, 50 starts. If I would have doubled your starts, what would the advantage have been?
Well, it only helps your time on task, your reps, just more shots at those potential turnovers that you don't throw, more sacks you don't take. Like the same way we watched Jaden Daniels grow and not take those sacks and not throw those interceptions and not make critical errors. Boom, that's what you want to see.
That's what job.
You're learning on the job. It was my first year starting. I had played 3 games before that, excuse me. So 16 total starts is light. Really light. So for some teams, that was right there. Just, no, I need a 2-year starter. That was the old school motto is I need a 2-year starter minimum. And that was like, ooh, it's a little light. So 16 games, that turns some teams off. But listen, we say it every year. You don't have to have all 32 teams fall in love with you. You just need one.
That's right.
And hopefully they're picking early, and hopefully you got a decent roster. So I was, you know, the beneficiary of, you know, a team that was picking at 15 or 16 that traded up to 5 to go get me. So you're 15 or 16, you're right in the middle of the league. You're, you know, a win or two away from the playoffs. You got a team that can go.
So you had some players.
Yeah, so you have a defense that was legit. I mean,
is actually
they throttled Brady a couple times.
Do you remember the first time in practice you faced the Jets defense?
Well, it was Revis. The next year we had Revis and Cromartie. I mean, looking back
His
now,
basketball
it's
players
silly what we did because it doesn't help a quarterback. It doesn't groom a quarterback going 1 for 15 in a rack of plays in practice because the defense is so good. And they're throwing like all these different defenses at you that you've never seen
respectful to one another. I got mad respect for him. Incredible role model, incredible player. I got him number 2 all time behind MJ. He's the greatest player in history.
There's nobody to throw to. Like Revis is running the routes for everybody. What am I doing here?
Right.
You know, it's hard. It made life really tough. But you kind of learn on the fly, thrown in the fire. Who are you? And that was the approach there. I mean, from an offensive perspective, you'd think like, ooh, might want to get him some completion so he has a little confidence going into games instead of just getting crushed in training camp, you know? So it was, you know, we added some talent my second year, quite a bit of it,
with
Brandon Edwards, Antonio Holmes,
side.
Jericho Cotchery, Dustin Keller, and LaDainian Tomlinson. Sean Green was our running back. Like, we had a potent offense. So that training camp was a little more competitive. Plus, I had a year under my belt, so I felt a little better. But that first training camp was rough, man. There were a lot of balls on the ground, a lot of balls going the wrong way. So that was tough.
Great seeing you again, man.
Great to see you guys.
Success is more than a destination, a path you take one step at a time. I didn't forget how good that defense was. That's your first secondary. It's the best one in the league. Fortitude, dedication. It's what Midwest-based Stiefel has done for over 130 years. St. Louis-based. 130 years. One of the fastest-growing wealth management firms in America. Responsible, dedicated. Are you planning for retirement? Think Stiefel. Saving for college?
Number 2 seed. Do you
Want to leave a lasting legacy? Stiefel, S-T-I-F-E-L, has you covered. As a client, you'll have access to their award-winning equity research and investment strategy view. Just enables you to make the tough, informed decisions. It's your hard-earned wealth. Find a financial advisor at Stiefel.com, S-T-I-F-E-L.com. Stiefel Nicholas and Company Incorporated, member SIPC, and the New York Stock Exchange.
With fully electric performance and up to 320 miles of range, Polestar 2 is designed for drivers. View offers at Polestar.com.
At Dots, an ordinary pretzel just isn't enough, so they add savory seasoning and tempting buttery flavor into every delicious twist. Now that's enough to make you order a special delivery.
That seems like a lot.
They're really good. Dots, sensationally seasoned pretzels.
Everything in moderation. Except for popcorn. Popcorn doesn't count. Skinny Pop. Enjoy endlessly. Today, we accomplished nothing. I mean it, not a thing. And it was kinda everything.
Stay 2 nights. Get a free night at Best Western.
Hey! You like Dr. Pepper strawberries and cream?
It's done. We help people customize and save hundreds on car insurance with Liberty Mutual.
My quiver and charge.
Sure, I can hold.
My sentiments as well.
In theaters now.
Prepare for battle.
This one is MVP's a sports show. First things first, weekdays at 3 Eastern on F.
Best one.
Today was the day that I put everything in perspective.
The best healthcare is there when we most and least expect it. United Healthcare. There for what matters.
It's replacement window season. You have ugly, hard to open, drafty windows? Now is the best time to buy new Champion windows.
That was my thought.
Because when you buy two, you get two free. Buy two Champion windows, get two free? I guess that means if you buy four, you get four free. Buy six, get six free. Buy 10, get 10 free.
Hurry, Champion's buy two, get two free sale is for a limited time.
Great job, everybody. Yes.
Call 844-4CHAMPION or schedule your free in-home estimate online today.
So be it.
Delicious creamy milk chocolate and whole hazelnuts.
Go
And then
inside.
hazelnut bar. It's beyond words. Find your at checkout. The kings of the lanes lay everything on the line for a major.
I've waited for this moment.
PBA World Championship Finals. Sunday
My
at noon
bow is
Eastern
strong.
on Fox. Sometimes your work shirt needs to be for more than just work. Like when
Agreed.
it needs to be a big, soft shoulder to cry on. Which is why Downy does more to make clothes softer,
battle.
fresher, and better. Downy. Breathe life into your laundry.
This will be a gold mine of local intel, just you wait.
So tell us about this corn festival.
Oh, you got your corn pudding, you got your corn chowder.
Oh, is it safe around here?
Sometimes.
The family of 8 would have needed
I'll
corn
cut a
lunch.
knot
Where would they
with
find
your
it?
nail.
Then they dip it in butter and bam, it goes right really to vampire mode. Whoever doesn't like a blessing on the phone.
Donut
Very
shop.
well.
How far from here?
Denied.
Think of how light it'll feel in the summer. Gotta run. 11,000 more neighborhoods to go.
Homes.com.
I love being an adult because bringing a fruit platter to a party takes on a whole new meaning. Your dining room is door-bought. Simply spiced.
Hair
It's getting
fly.
juicy.
This is not just a stop
Four.
for allergy meds. This is a great price on what you need. Backed by an expert.
Good enough.
This is value. Right in your neighborhood.
Thanks so much.
Walgreens.
Yes.
We're done.
What about these?
Which way?
Feel my cold embrace.
Quick! The quicker picker up. Bounty feels like a sponge and is 2 times more absorbent, so you can use less. Thanks to the quicker picker up.
There's nothing better than Subway Series footlong, except when you add on a $1
God damn it, man.
Yes.
$5 footlong cookie. Every footlong deserves a perfect sidekick. Order one with your favorite Subway
Feel the
Series
fire
sauce today.
frost.
Animal control has arrived.
Sir, you can't park that here. Where we the city? Fast employees. We got a car regarding the stand.
And you can watch it anytime on Hulu.
That is my thought.
All new Animal Control. Wednesdays on Fox. Next day Hulu.
Death comes silently.
Mark Sanchez, Michael Penix, Rick Bucher.
To battle.
Fun show today. Is J-Max off tomorrow? He's Tahiti, I don't know. Big vacay guy. Just got off a surfboard in
So be
Hawaii.
it.
J-Max with the news.
Turn on the news.
Your fate.
All right, let's start with last night's embarrassment. Boy, what a fool I was picking the Hawks and Trae Young. No defense playing Trae Young. We had a spirited first hour discussion on your boy, Trae Young. You like him a lot. Listen, he has been involved in trade rumors basically all season. And there was reports saying Atlanta could move him this summer. DeJounte Murray's interesting.
I don't know how you don't like him. I do like him. I love his game. He just traded
for Luka Doncic, essentially.
Unlimited shooting range, clever passer. I love him.
Yeah, you like guys who don't play defense. That's what you like.
You know what?
Very
Same
well.
thing here. All gas, no brakes.
Oh, jeez. Yeah, listen, I did like how Rick Bucher was like, I'm not trading Austin Reeves.
God.
You look at, by the way, you look at the numbers in last year's Lakers-Nuggets series, Austin Reeves was arguably their second best player. Okay?
My
Trae Young's not
sentiments
doing
as
that
well.
against Denver. I don't know that he's tough enough. Is he tough enough, Colin? Can he take a pounding the way Austin Reeves can?
Trae Young. I'm not
My
responsible for these
bow is
comments.
I like Trey Young so much.
Trey and I may bump into each other
in the UFC fight, right?
in a cool place. Like just like the other day, I bumped into Kyler Murray, Arizona quarterback, who I believe is great, and I had to, let's just say, move away from some comments made on this show that weren't mine. So unfortunately, sometimes I have to, you know.
You should have just got Kyler's gamer tag. Say, hey, let's fool that. Sorry, I had to do that.
That is
Next up, let's go to the Lakers. They win the play-in. They are the 7th seed in the West. They face the Nuggets.
Can't wait for Saturday night.
Oh, jeez, I didn't realize. Nuggets have beat them 8 straight. But Denver says his team will be prepared for what the Lakers throw at him this time around.
Quiver.
We swept them last year. We swept them this year. They're coming in not only playing well, but really hungry. They want to flip that script, and we have to understand that, Katie, and bring that. And I think our players do. But that was our message today, man. Don't let anybody in these playoffs take what we worked so hard to get.
Very exciting. I did a futures piece for FoxSports.com on NBA futures, and I was looking at D'Angelo Russell. This is how bad he was in the series last year. Essentially got benched for one game. He was a starter. He averaged 6.3 points in that series.
No, he was
shot 2
terrible.
of 15 from 3.
That was terrible.
He will not be close to that bad again. He's playing way better. So now, I think they got a legit chance in this.
Beating them 4 times.
Yes.
Remember, all 4 games were close in the 4th quarter. Go look it up. 5 minutes left. Every game, single digits, and Lakers right in the mix.
And Denver wins.
Agreed.
Denver was on a mission last year.
Best player in the series is Jokic.
Who's the second best?
Consistently LeBron, but I would say Jamal Murray and AD are close.
And then after that's got to be on.
So be it.
But KCP? Michael Porter Jr.?
Gordon, Porter. They have 4 players better than Austin Reeves. Gordon, Jokic, Murray, Porter.
Disagree.
You good,
Jokic. You
Battle.
want to do just AD? Do you want to double it?
There is no defending Jokic. AD does as good a job as you can do, and they'll still get through. And
Do you trust Darvin Ham to
My sentiments as well.
You can't, I'm sorry, this whole cook up a scheme. I got the best player, I win the series.
I shall
listen,
my
Darvin Ham, he enters this on the hot. They get swept, he's done. He's out. Just run him out of town.
So Lakers can go to another.
Good enough.
Okay, X Factor? Well, LeBron doesn't like that. X Factor in the series. You ready for this? Gabe Vincent, baby. Watch out. He's a lockdown defender.
Wait some more.
He's gonna go. I would not be shocked if they went small at the end of the game with Vincent, Reeves, and Russell. And Vincent is on Jamal Murray. Because Reeves cannot go Murray and initiate offense. It doesn't work. Keep an eye on Gabe Vincent as the X.
Interesting take.
But then you got LeBron on Aaron Gordon,
which
is not ideal. Yeah. But I think Reeves on Michael Porter Jr. is not the best. Lakers have to try new stuff. What worked last year? It didn't come through. So I think a couple new things. Let's wrap up with the NFL draft. Just happened to hear about within the last time. So the Bills do not have a true #1 after they jettisoned Stephon Diggs.
Target.
They also lost Gabe Davis in free agency. The wide receiver room is quite barren. Bills GM Billy Beane was asked today. Are you ready for this? Yeah. If Buffalo needs to acquire a top receiver before next season, and here's what he said.
What you need are guys that, in this offense, are smart,
my sentiments
versatile,
as well.
selfless, and can make plays that their skill set allows them to make. You know, if there's a run that pops up, either in free agency or draft that makes sense for us, or really good too, we'll do it. But I don't think having a one or not having a one, Matt, doesn't mean we can't have success, on offense or as a team.
Very well.
They're still clinging to the Super Bowl win. I feel the precipice of falling off the ledge, but I have them still clinging to the window.
Hey, let's just have fun with it. Top 2 Dolphins receivers, Tyreek and Watt. Both are better than anything the Bills have. Top 2 Jets receivers, Garrett Wilson and Mike Williams, better than anything Buffalo has.
But the Bills have 2 better
is under attack.
So they're going to do that.
They're going to go with the 10 and 2 sets and run the football.
Another fugitive.
Well, Baltimore ran the football to a #1 seed
That was my
With
thought.
Lamar Jackson running up a billion yards on the
Josh
ground.
Allen.
How'd that work out in the playoffs, by the way? Oh, yeah, okay. Just second or third in the division. They're not winning the division.
Third in the division with Josh Allen. Third in the division.
Second or
That
third?
is so hot of a take. It just disintegrated before it got to the microphone.
How's this?
Bills are not finishing
If
third in
the
the
Bills
division.
win the division, you know, I'll wear my hat backwards on the show. If the Jets win the division, you got to wear a tank top for 1 segment.
My bow is strong.
Lock it up. It's
I
happening.
don't know how you talk me into it.
You don't have to wear a Jets tank. It could be a tank top. Whatever. But if the Jets win the division, you wear a tank top.
I gotta start
Start throwing some plates around.
I embarrassed myself enough. I gotta get to
Call your buddy Russillo. Every time I see him, I mean,
My
Russillo
sentiments
looks like
as
he's
well.
doing HGH. I
Yeah,
mean,
but
he's jacked.
don't say that. He's single with no kids. All he does is lift weights. And
HGH
talk.
is okay. You people
I'm
do
out
that.
here parenting and
Onward.
minivan, taking the kids to whatever.
You don't have to stop. You are
Bite.
clanging and banging with the best of them 5 days a week, ready to rock a tank top in January when the Jets win the AFC.
Your mid goes
Just
under
remember that,
attack.
folks. I know the production room is laughing. I can hear the laughter covered in a tank top.
That's coming.
I'm gonna tell you something. If the Jets get out like a 5-1 I'm gonna spend an hour on curls.
So be it.
I don't even care about the rest of my body. I'll just do curls.
Show muscles. That's what they call it.
Quiver.
Well, that's the news.
And thanks for stopping by.
The Herd Lie News.
All right, NFL draft a week away. Headlines today with J Mac.
Forward.
The DQ
Is closed.
Your local Aces.
That is my thought. Waitress with candy.
At Dots, an ordinary pretzel just isn't enough. So they add savory seasoning and tempting buttery flavor into every delicious twist. Now that's
Very
enough to
well.
make you build an all-pretzel pantry. With the biometric security system. Dots. Sensations. Pretzels.
Everything in except for popcorn. Popcorn doesn't count. Skinny pop. Enjoy endlessly.
Finding
So
home
be
for
it.
us was tough, but our agent Joe just got our needs. Hey Joe! We went home tour after home tour.
My sentiments as well. Yes.
Find your ultimate playground at Visit
Good enough.
California.
What the fuck is that?
Silent space. Agreed.
Today, we have I mean it, not
I go silent.
make the most of it.
My love happens. Now that you're dead,
Should you become stranded,
I find it
you're
easy to
ready for
respect you.
rescues.
112 minutes.
Head for the mountains.
Skechers Factory Work Safety Toe Studs. They're rugged, long-lasting, innovative safety toe and electrical hazard protection. Just step on them and go to work. Switching the shoes, build down, and the monitors. Maximum all-day comfort with Skechers Factory Work Safety Toe Studs.
Enemies top onwards. Forward.
That's great. I know I've been telling everyone. Liberty. Liberty.
How
many people did you tell? Only paid for what you need.
Liberty, liberty, liberty.
Liberty.
Silent as a mist.
Healthy is not something that happens alone. It takes Greg and Lydia and Josie on the phone. It's Grammy getting checked on in her favorite chair. Or the darling says
Yes.
healthier happens together.
Oh, wait. You want Dr. Pepper Zero Sugar?
Yes.
Okay.
Feel the fire frost. My bow is drawn. Arrow.
They set a whiskey recipe to provide fun. Need something? Maker's Mark. Make
Onward.
your mark.
I bought the team!
Your bottom tower is under attack. That is my
other things too.
way ahead of you.
Steph, one more thing. The team. I like it. I'll break the play.
Very well.
Like a pro. With Chase Freedom Unlimited. How do you cash back? Chase, make more of what's yours.
I go in silence.
Give me that shit. Watery. Give me that clean.
My sentiments is well. I see the
Monster kill.
And Wild are the MVPs of sports shows. First things first.
This is going to be the toughest next level show yet.
I want my mom.
Only the best will survive. Only the Next Level Chef. Thursdays at 8/7 Central on Fox.
Saturday on Fox, a new era begins for the reigning national champion
That
Michigan
is
Wolverines with their annual Maize and Blue game as new head coach Sherrod Moore looks to see who will rise up to lead this year's team.
My
The
sentiments
Michigan
as
spring
well.
game Saturday at noon Eastern on Fox.
Well, the 2024 draft
My bow
is
is
just
drawn.
1 week away, so tomorrow's headlines today, my favorite 10 minutes of the week, we move it up a day.
I go
J-Mac's
in
gone
silence.
tomorrow. Jordan Schultz is going to be joining us. Does a terrific job. Bleacher Report.
They're treading east. Ice shall
Radio
not
audience is like, I got no ends right
Sorry, I forgot we're on radio.
Tomorrow's headlines today. What's the headline for the Patriots with a
Very
number
well.
3 pick?
So a lot of chatter about your guy, Jaden Daniels, going 2.
Forward.
I think at 3, the Patriots go then. Go get him. Stripes to Southie. I don't think, sorry, I don't think those 2. I think 3 is a good spot. And listen, New England, it totally changed. You Bill Belichick out. Now you got a new guy in there. Tom Brady long gone. You get a new quarterback, a new style, a new brand of football. I think you totally reshaped that with Jaden Daniels. I personally have questions about him. I think he's super hot. And if I'm the Jets, I'm not worried that Jaden Daniels is entering the AFC East. Now, Drake May goes 3. I would be worried. I think I'm going to stick with May at 2, and I think Jaden Daniels 3 to New England. And we'll see what his future holds. I don't think it's going to be a great start, but I think Bryce Young level bad. How's that?
Tomorrow's headlines today. How about the Chargers with a 5th pick? Very exciting.
Yeah, one of the things you and I like to do is kind of read between the lines, see what moves are being taken.
Starts.
And the Chargers bound to protect Herbert. We saw J.K. Dobbins. The Chargers. We saw it before. To the jump. My boss guy was in Baltimore. I think you get 2 Baltimore running backs. What did Baltimore love to do? Run the football. I can see where we're going to take. Let's get like power football. We'll do Herbert with a lot of bootlegs, a lot of play action. I think this is going to work. Now, obviously, we love for the Chargers to trade down and get more picks as we kind of do for the LA teams. I think, like you said, not a superstar, but I think he's the best offensive lineman in the draft.
The enemy's middle tower
and I think there's a great pick for the Chargers. And they start. This team don't turn things around quickly. You look at the schedule. I'm just telling you, with the right picks here,
that was my thought.
Is an 11-win team, surprisingly.
Okay, now let's move down the draft a little to the lesser known teams. Tomorrow's headline today: your Jets, number 10, baby.
So much chat for my Jets has been put a wide receiver fault. Do we need another one? We need another weapon for Aaron Rodgers. Brock Bowers, the tight end. The headline for the Jets in the draft will be hook, O-line, and sinker. Jets reel in big fish for big mouth. Sorry, Aaron, had to take that jab. Again, I think you've got to go offensive line.
Yes.
Tyron Smith is really nice. Morgan Moses is nice. Good acquisitions. Tyron Smith is getting up there in age. He's had injuries.
He's going to give you about 13 games, 14
You've got to
games.
protect Rodgers.
Yeah.
He was in 4 plays last year. I think he was running for his life on 3 of them. You cannot go in without an offensive tackle. It's an offensive tackle-heavy draft. It's also a good wide receiver draft. You can get a good receiver later in the draft. I think you're going to be fine with an offensive lineman. And I know it's not sexy to go with an offensive lineman who's not the best at his position, because all 3 will be gone. I think the Jets go line, protect Rodgers, and then win the division, and you wear a tank top and just...
I think if somebody wants to have a second-round pick,
they don't because of the Rodgers trade.
Move down 5 picks.
Tank Dell, 3rd round. Who's going to go with 5th round?
There's plenty of receivers. Yeah, there's headlines today. Okay, J.J. McCarthy's flying up the board. I don't get it.
My
I want to see him
sentiments
go to
as well.
Minnesota. What say you?
I don't think anybody talks about McCarthy as much as this show does. We love J.J. McCarthy, big fans. The headline for the draft will be J.J. to J.J. McCarthy to Jefferson. Can't wait to connect.
I hope
it makes sense. I don't think they're going to have to trade up. I think this is total smoke screen season. 3rd, 4th, 5th. I don't think any of that happens. And there's a quote from earlier today. I think it was the Patriots or the Giants. Somebody was speaking saying, like, well, it doesn't seem like anybody's ready to trade up. And I think it's too much smoke for Carter. I'm not buying it. I think he is the 4th quarterback off the board, and I think he goes to the Vikings, who will hit a home run.
So it's interesting. So I'm reading a bunch of draft stuff over the last month or 2. And one of the things about J.J. McCarthy is, and it sounds a little like accurate thrower, and I'm like, if he was Kirk Cousins with better mobility and much cheaper, wouldn't you take that? I mean, the knock on Cousins is he doesn't move much. This kid does, and he's really expensive. So my thing is, if you lower the ceiling with JJ and you just say, listen, he's going to be Cousins with better movement, and for 4 years, well, then all of a sudden Kirk Cousins has another top corner and another slot receiver. So that's my thing. It's not that I don't like him. There's context is everything. I do think when I read his draft profile, a lot of it sounds like Cousins.
That is just
the price tag. Let's remember, Cousins was a mid-round pick. Like Dak, mid-round pick.
He does move better.
Onward.
He does.
Sure, he moved better than Kirk Cousins. I just think the price point is everything, and I'm not trading up. The best quarterback in the draft, so I think they land. The Vikings stand put, and the Vikings are in good shape if they got J.J. McCarthy.
Finally, tomorrow.
Radiant's
Headlines today. We have him up here today. Michael Penix Jr. NFL draft.
Yeah.
Your bottom tower is under attack.
Like, we like him a lot. But Daniel Jeremiah, others have him falling out of the first round.
Aesthetically, it's so much fun. He throws the prettiest ball in the draft, and I'm trying to think of another quarterback that threw a ball like this.
Your guy Kyler Murray, maybe? I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, just, it's beautiful to watch.
Yeah, and even Schrager, I think, had Penix falling out of the first round. I'm sorry, guys, I'm not buying it. The headline will be Penix-Zillin, new quarterback, a shot in the arm for Dolphins. I'm sticking with it. I've been riding this. I like what they did with the do-rag there.
The enemy's bottom tower has fallen.
I don't see why Miami, A, hasn't signed Tua to the lucrative extension that he's been looking for, and B, why they would pass up on Penix. You can now have two lefty quarterbacks in your system when you're structured offensively for a lefty quarterback. I think this makes all the sense in the world. Seattle does as well, and maybe they grab him. But I don't know, Colin. If the Dolphins get Penix, I would be very, like, you worried if you're a Jets fan.
I go
you got
in
Penix?
silence. Your
But
bottom
Penix
tower
carried
is under
Washington
attack.
to the Natty. He was. You can bash the Michigan game. Go look at the Texas team.
That was my
I mean,
thought.
from the jump, he's making every single throw.
I saw him beat Oregon twice.
Yeah.
And he
Very well.
was, and Bo Nix is good. He was the man. So, yeah, I mean,
I'll take that. Your
I
middle
like
tower
Nix, but
is under
I'm
attack.
sorry. If you give him
I think Nix, with Cortland Sutton, with Mims, with Sean Payton, with that top 8 offensive line, all of a sudden that's interesting.
But if you're Denver, do you think you could get in late in the second round?
You got to be careful because you draft right after the Raiders. Or right after the Broncos. The Raiders. So my take is, you're probably overdrafting Nix, but not only are you getting a guy that looks to fit Peyton's system, you're keeping him away from the Raiders.
So sometimes if a quarterback falls to like that range, like 11 through 15, it's like the second or third quarterback. Now you're looking at the fourth or fifth, maybe?
Well, it is the left tackle quarterback draft, so I can live with that. I got to tell you, the only one of these guys that wasn't consistently good in college is Drake May. But he arguably has the best traits in terms of size. He looks like Herbert. He's a big, strong.
Daniels is awesome but
No, I'm talking body type.
Oh, body type.
Nix is kind of small. Jaden Daniels spindly. I mean, Caleb's only 6'1". I mean, you start looking at the guy. The one guy that's the best in the hotel lobby is Drake May. 6'4", 225. He's the best in the hotel lobby, but he's the only one that wasn't consistent in college. So it's like, I mean, Jaden Daniels' numbers are huge. Bo Nix, unbelievable.
Penix can be inflated by the offense. Just remember, Justin Herbert, Josh Allen did not have massive numbers throwing the football in college.
Very well.
And they come in and it's like, oh, real NFL offense, creative. I don't know. I like Penix a lot. Everything, like just listening to him, sounds like a leader. You don't have to remember the line from where I think it was Mangino. I don't want to go to bed at night having to worry about getting a call.
Well, Penix, he came on the show and he just said, he goes, I ran in high school. I like distributing the ball. I like to get it to my guys. And that's what I want. And he, you know, I didn't see his high school tape. I know there's so many lefty quarterbacks, and there's not a lot of lefties that look like that. Mark Brunell was a great one. Steve Young was a great one. There's just not a lot of lefty quarterbacks. You got to kind of flip your offensive line. So, that's exciting.
Yes.
Good job.
I mean, we didn't talk about it. We don't love the Chiefs, well, I don't. But their situation now at the end of the first round is real fascinating with Rasheed Rice, with that situation unfolding.
Well, they need a receiver anyway.
They do.
So I don't think they have to. I would argue with Kansas City if Brett Veach moved out of the first, if somebody would do
My
it,
sentiments
and
as well.
accumulate another third round. They've missed on some receivers. They haven't missed on many. They've missed on some receivers. I mean, the Niners have missed on a couple of receivers and running backs. It happens.
Battle.
I would draft more than one. Rice is going to come back and play. He will. He's good, but it did show you a glimpse of his immaturity, so he's not, you're probably not giving him the bag. He's probably going to be a serviceable guy, very nice player, and Travis Kelce. So if I was Kansas, I don't have a problem with teams moving out of the late third. I mean, the Rams were at 19. If they moved to the second and then got the third and the fourth, and once you get past like the 17th pick, 16th pick,
Quiver.
You're out of like the high end guys. You get to 19, 20, those are second-round players for late first. It's the same guy to me.
Radiant structures are fortified.
I'll see them all. I'm committed.
4 o'clock. I'll cut a knot with your natures.
The best. The CONCACAF Champions Cup. Semifinals leg Tuesday and Thursday on FS1.
Way ahead of you.
There's nothing better than a Subway Series footlong, except when you add a new footlong sidekick, like the ultimate BMT. Nothing like a sidekick that steps up in crunch time.
Not cool, man. Every epic footlong deserves a perfect sidekick.
Introducing
The enemy's middle tower has fallen. Your bottom tower is under attack.
Used for great taste.
Attack.
Gatorade Wood.
Very well.
3 kids, and pretty much everything they own.
Hi, guys. Welcome.
It matters where you stay.
That was my thought.
Hilton for the stay.
So be it. Dyer's courier has been killed. Good enough.
Modelo order.
Forward.
The light beer with a smooth elevated taste. And a never settle.
My bow is drawn.
Modelo order. The gold standard of light beer.
There's nothing better than a Subway Series footlong. Except we got a new footlong sidekick, like the Elite Chicken and Bacon Ranch with a $2 footlong churro. This is the best sidekick I've ever had.
Every epic footlong deserves a perfect sidekick. It's that time
I
of year
go
again.
in silence.
When the boys in blue don't move. Rage, Cop Spring Break. New episode Friday on
My sentiments as well.
Nation.
Arrow, fly. Yes.
Watch me now.
As deep as forest shade.
Watch me now.
I'll take that. Agreed.
When I started Bright Star Care, I had one focus: to provide a higher standard of care.
Very well.
Safe, reliable, nurse-led care right in people's homes. That's been my goal for 20 years, and it always will
Onward.
be. Now, local agencies are looking for experienced nurses and caregivers who have the passion it takes to deliver that
My
higher standard of
sentiments as
care.
well.
This is the make or break moment. Not just for the day,
Good enough.
but for the years to come. This is the chance to carve your name into the history books. This is the NASCAR experience.
Arrows fly.
Elliot Robertson-Burke. Have you been watching?
Being straight's been super awesome.
These
So
are
be
our
it.
only other friends in the world.
None of you recognize him.
No. Have I talked with him? You think you've
That was my thought. The enemy's bottom tower has fallen.
All right, here's my mock draft today. We did it an hour ago.
Your top tower
Hour and a
is
half
under
ago.
attack.
If I was
Dire
you,
My bow is structures are drawn. Fortified.
So I do have one trade. Vikings move up to get their quarterback. They'll sit in behind Sam
Your
Darnold for a
top
year.
tower is under
Silent
attack.
Chargers want to get big and strong up front. They get the Oregon State right tackle, who is the best run blocker in the draft. I do think the Broncos are much
Your Sean has fallen into the ground.
wide
Your top
receiver.
tower is
So
under
they'll have
attack.
Garrett Wilson, Brees Hall, Mike Williams, Roma Dunze. If they can't get a second round pick, they can pick up another offensive. It's a very good team in the draft. They can get a tackle.
Your top tower
I
is
can't
under
see him.
attack.
He's just a grown up.
Cold embrace.
Agunze, Mike Williams, Garrett Wilson, Brees Hall.
And get a tight end in the third or fourth.
Your top tower is under attack. Your top tower has
Just
fallen.
domination for the Jets again in Joe Douglas. And it feels like an AFC East champion. We have a mock-up now of what Colin would look like if he has to wear the Jets.
I will not. My traps
My sentiments
will
as
never
well.
look like.
You got to get the boulder shoulders going on.
God, is that what you look like if you work out hard? Man, that's pretty much. Can you get me a screenshot? I can put that in my bathroom window.
You could also do like a fake tan so you're a little browner coming in and looking more cut.
Maybe Ann would pay attention to me if I look like that.
She's not paying attention. That's a bit of a reveal here.
Look at that. That is a boy.
Come on, Aaron Rodgers.
You know what I had last night before bed? Big old peanut butter and jelly sandwich. That's why I look like that.
Were you carb loading now?
No, I was hungry. Oh. Carb loading. I was hungry.
Frost. Your middle tower is under attack. I shall
Which leads me to this. Live from New York, it's the show with
So be
non-verbal
it.
cues. A lot of them. A lot of them have to do with Brew blowing through the commercial. Claims his earpiece doesn't work every day, so he can ignore the producers.
I hear nothing.
It's first thing every day. Today, will Bill Belichick be the next coach of the Dallas Cowboys? One person here thinks it will work. Meanwhile, Rob versus Joker. Mike Malone stating facts. Is there enough big show related to that?
That is my thought.
Yeah, I'm gonna get you. Oh, I'm thinking about that. Another edition of the most motivational segment.
My
of
bow
sports.
is
It's the
drawn.
Buttless with just a video of Sirianni.
Onward.
Is he on it?
Maybe. We'll see.
Well, I hope so, or else it doesn't make a lot of sense.
Well, he was in consideration.
I go in silence.
Despite being booed after falling behind by 14
Radiant's
and turning the
courier
ball
has
over
been killed.
a dozen times, the Sixers got together
Good enough.
and rallied after a free food giveaway. Advance to the 7th seed. Here's Embiid postgame.
Very well.
There's a lot being done, a lot. Lots of doing. We stuck together. It just shows.
Forward.
I don't get my best. I don't get to my spots. The whole game until 4.
My sentiments as well.
We still find really win. They like to make it nasty. We can do it too.
I go in silence.
Nasty too.
Okay. Were you more or less confident in Philly after last night?
Let me start with the positive.
Silent as a mist.
Philly showed me a lot of confidence last night. Like, I went into this game thinking, okay, Miami's a mentally tougher team, and Philly's
Very
more
well.
talented. So let's see which prevails.
So be it.
Like, we saw Nick Mitchell. I'm not expecting him to do that.
Your bottom tower is under attack. Radiant structures are fortified.
Two stars, obviously, with Max and Embiid. Tobias, Oubre.
Your bottom tower is under attack. Your bottom tower has
And
fallen.
Kyle Lowry's there, yeah. So I like what I saw last night, except
Forward.
Joel Embiid was laboring through 4 quarters. I mean, he clearly was 70%, maybe. I don't know, but I have no faith. He's not going to get healthy.
My bow is drawn.
Like, playing, 7 games, the next 7 games at playoff level intensity against a physical
Agreed.
team like the Knicks, it's not going to make him healthy or any better. So, Nick, I've got less faith because of what I saw with Embiid.
So I disagree. I feel like you have to have more confidence because they avoid Boston. Because now
Your
point, he's not going to get healthier. I generally agree with. I said yesterday, like if you suffered an MCL injury, a doctor wouldn't be like, 6 weeks from now, play high-intensity basketball to make sure it gets better. But after I said that, some people did respond that seemed like that is correct, but it's also correct. Just the passage of time from the injury, you do get slightly healthier as long as you don't re-injure it. So I generally agree with you, but I do also understand the further you get, which is why it's critical. They didn't get Boston in round 1, and they were 1 point away from getting Boston in round 1. I also think your point about Nick Nurse is a good one, the best coach he's ever had, and I think a great coach. Today's NBA head coaches, I think he's a top 5 coach. And I'm biased here because he's a friend of mine, but I also think I think Daryl Morey's done a great job filling out the roster and getting tertiary and, you know what I mean, whatever the 4th level tertiary is, pieces like a night can fill it up. Getting Kyle Lowry for next to nothing and him becoming a key player. I like their supplemental pieces. And maybe 32-8 has to mean keep winning on a free throw. Like I think he was doing like a knee bend, like go in, but then because the knee's not strong enough, thought he was doing, if you guys, I should have had Hubs pull the video.
Way
Sometimes when he shoots free throws, he does like that little, like, almost trying to put English on it afterwards. And I think while he was
The
doing that,
enemy's
he lost
bottom
his
tower
balance a bit.
has
So that's why
fallen.
he went down.
Arrow fodder. My time has come. Your middle tower is under attack.
I would think they got a really good chance to get out of the East. Now,
Yes.
Here's his stats since he's come back.
Agreed.
Is remember LeVar Ball?
Never lost.
Yeah, he hasn't lost since he's come back. He's 6-0. He's
My
only played
sentiments
32
as
minutes.
well.
I know. Last night it wasn't good. It was the second worst of the season. But
6 for 17.
maybe
But he was
just a little
excellent
bit
at
That was
scoring,
my
right?
It was nice.
Yeah.
I mean, a bad game, and he had 23 and 15 in a win against a pesky.
And against the best defensive center in the country.
Forward.
They made, look, I don't want to take anything away from them. They showed heart and courage. Do they
My
win
bow
if
is
Butler's
drawn.
not hurt? And I would honestly say I don't think they beat Miami in the series if Butler was there.
So
They
be
could
it.
win that game. It'd be a tough 6-7 games. But
I said that about Zion. I got lambasted.
No,
Yes.
I think that's fair. And I agree with you that
The
Embiid,
price you pay.
Embiid at this level of health, they are, you know,
Very well.
the clock is ticking on their season. But you now do have more time. You have more time before the
Way
first
ahead
round.
of
You have a team that we're going to get to that is not the way Boston was. I think for all things considered,
Agreed.
last night went well for Philly.
All right, Sixers next game in Madison Square Garden Saturday night. The Knicks favored in
go
this
in
one.
silence.
Won the season series 3-1, but the teams are 1-1 when Embiid plays. So who you got here?
Butterfly.
Great trepidation.
Battle.
I take Philly. New York is
Good
an
enough.
awesome story, and more than an awesome story, they're a really good team. And
I'll take
Jalen
that.
Brunson is club
Silent
superstar
as
gets
a
unveiled
mist.
midway through these playoffs.
You know that.
Jalen, well, it does every year. I mean, you don't have it. Come on, buddy.
My
Jalen
sentiments
Brunson
as well.
has of every player in the league that was outside club superstar before this year.
My bow is
Made a
strong.
stronger case that they should
Onward.
replace someone in club superstar. Again, that doesn't guarantee
Ja's out.
that. Well, Ja got.
you all have a moral
My
squad.
bow
Ja
is
is
strong.
that thing, his whole thing. But so we can do club superstar later as we
Arrow
always do,
fly.
you know, around the middle of May. But Jalen has made a strong case. The Knicks record, when OG plays and Jalen plays, is gaudy. Here is my concern, and this is, I guess,
Silent
damning with
as
faith
mist.
grace. Tibbs gets so much out of this guy
See
all
walk
year
in
long that I
I
don't
go in
remember a
silence.
Tibbs team that had a playoff year. I remember a lot of Tibbs teams that got to playoff level intensity
Forward.
by like game 6, and his brilliance is keeping them there. And then teams that they looked better than
Yes.
during the regular season, who were kind of coasting, they see him in the playoffs, they get to a playoff
Good
year
enough.
and they beat him. That, plus the Knicks injuries, plus the fact that I don't think the Knicks have a great answer
Way
for
ahead
Embiid
of you.
with respect to Hartenstein, with respect to their front line. Nobody has a great answer to Embiid. I'll take Philly in a hard-fought long series.
Battle.
I'm going to say something I haven't said since Spreewell and Houston were in the
Agreed.
always at Madison Square Garden. Give me the Knicks! I got the Knicks in 7.
Roshan has fallen to the rating.
We got to go to that game 7 if
Yeah.
that happens. But go ahead.
Let's
Go
go.
ahead.
And it's beat. Look,
My
if
sentiments
Embiid
as
were
well.
healthy, I'd be going with Philly. There's no doubt. But I just think he looked.
Stand and deliver.
He didn't look good. It's not. And
So
you're
be
right.
it.
At times he played well, and I think he's going to get his 20-something points. But in the beginning of the year, I also think with Isaiah Hartenstein
Very well.
and Mitchell Robinson, they 2 7-footers who are athletic. You know, they can get out on the perimeter. So they're not going to stop you. But they can make contesting and all of that. Jay, look,
go
you
in
mentioned
silence.
Tibbs' team, and I totally agree with you on that. What is this? This is the Chicago Bulls with Derrick Rose.
Agreed.
Tim, coached by Tibbs. That's exactly what they are. They couldn't beat the Heat.
Yeah.
But they still won their share of games. And I'm not saying the Knicks are that good. That team won 60-something games. But still, That's the formula.
No, that's right.
And you mentioned it with OG Anunoby, they're 20-3. Now, they played, I don't make too much out of the regular season matchups, but they did go 3-1 against Philly. Obviously, Embiid only played one of those games. But when he played, they were
Your middle tower is under attack.
16.
My sentiments as
was
well.
playing like the best player in the world. They got beat by 36. Yeah. So
Your middle tower is under
I think
attack.
that the Knicks are going. And
Dire structures are fortified.
Julius Randle's not going to playoffs. That's in the playoffs. Here, regular season, he was 47% shooter. Playoffs, 34%.
Very well.
All right, so that
I was at the Knicks game. It was the Caesar. It was the final Knicks home game. I was there. I can't remember if it ended the series round 2 or if it was they lost. People in Knicks
Your middle tower has fortified.
Tyrese Maxey in this series give you 70% of Jalen Brunson's production. He gets 20 the Sixers win because there isn't that someone on the Knicks to give you an extra. That's too simplistic. On the Knicks to give you 70% of what I think Embiid's going to do, even a hampered Embiid. You know,
he may end up missing it. I don't want to see it, but you know, missing it like this. He played 5 regular season games. And now he, since he got back, and he's already packed up.
I wonder how much of that was maintenance.
But he did have to legitimately. And the Knicks.
That is my thought.
Last year they were too physical for Cleveland.
Radiant structures are fortified.
Philadelphia. And we'll see how Embiid gets through it.
If you're right,
Some enemy's middle tower
legacy
has
talk
fallen.
for Embiid? Is there changes happening to Philadelphia? Is he going to get frustrated, or is it just like another year, another weird injury?
No, that's it's not his ability; it's his availability. I mean,
Very
it's
well.
just I think now maybe I'm wrong. Maybe there's a mental block. I don't know, but I think his dip in production in the playoffs is completely due to his not being at 100%. And if there was a year you were going to be at 100%,
into the third.
Still, he's already guy labor.
Is there a legacy on Grant Hill?
No, I mean that's a legacy. Is
the legacy
but
is
actually like wow.
Like I don't think people look at him negatively. I think people look at as the player Ralph Sampson negatively. Maybe they say he should change his game.
He really bouncy.
Career. No, I understand that, but the guys who when at their best, so those are the perfect examples. One I'm making, guys who when at their best, like that guy is amazing. Who then consistently dealt with injuries, I feel like get put over to the side when it comes to, they can't win conversations. It's like their body betrayed him.
It's just going to hinder his legacy in that, I mean, this guy, if he were healthy, he'd be one of the absolute all-time great enough.
Early Bud list, maybe after he won the MVP, you put him on the Bud list, I think. And he was like, hey, we have to see some hardware now. After you have the MVP, and otherwise we're like, now we're like, first round exit maybe.
Well, there's only...
he might be on the Bud list today.
There's only... Steve Nash, off the top of my head, Steve Nash and Derrick Rose are the only MVPs ever to not make a finals. Except for Joel Embiid, who has not made a conference finals. So like that part, you don't want to be on those lists.
Is he the only one never to make a conference?
My sentiments as well.
Going into last year, the only MVPs to never make a finals were Embiid, Jokic, Nash, and Rose. Rose were like weird MVPs. Jokic didn't win the title, and Embiid's now sitting there still with a round 2 ceiling. So yeah, that's fair. But we also see that he's hurt all the time.
And that's a part of the legacy.
Probably left Philadelphia limping. Now his agent is saying he's headed to the doctor today, and he disputed this MCL report. Next game is Friday, yeah. And the winner of Bulls Heat will head to Boston for round 1. What does this mean for the Celtics?
Well, let me tell you. So the agent, Jimmy Butler's agent, saying there's a chance.
And this morning, he just left the reporter.
This is from afar before he was And Jimmy Butler, last year he was playing through a knee. I didn't see that, but it's an easy way for the
The enemy's middle barracks has fallen. Your middle tower is under attack. Your middle tower is under attack.
Or an overmatched Knicks team. Now, that said, Nick, last year it was Atlanta, Philly with Embiid banged up and actually missing one of the games, and then Miami that had been an 8 seed.
Yeah, but last year's
Your
Boston
top
team
tower
was
is under attack.
They weren't the one
Dire
seed.
structures are fortified.
That they got Porzingis. Here's what I'm saying: is last year it was simple, and they didn't even get there. All right, if they don't get to the finals,
Okay.
I think Joe Mazzulla has to be gone.
Something has to happen.
This would be the second year, and I think this would be the second year where it looked like you should have got there, especially when Milwaukee got there.
Right now, Milwaukee's the second favorite. You got $100 to make the finals. You got $100 in Boston to make the finals. You win $40. They are a minus 225 favorite against the field to make the finals. There is, I totally agree with what you're saying, Drew. I'm just trying to add to it. If it's not, it would either be fire the coach or trade Jalen Brown or do something Brown. You can't. The historical precedent of a team with this regular season resume, even if you had a gauntlet in front of you not making the finals, is non-existent. This regular season resume.
There was a 60-win team.
Your bottom tower is under attack.
Seattle. They lost to Denver with Minnesota.
Oh, yeah.
Correct. So that in the best of 5
and
round
Dallas with Dirk 8-1.
Right, but not so.
Your
Not all
bottom
of
tower
these
is
boxes
under
that
attack.
they checked off. So you've been pointing out every single one of those teams with a point differential like Boston won the title. What about win your conference by 10 plus games?
I'll cut him
Look, hear me on it. 10 of the 14 won the championship. And the ones that didn't, Brew, 3 of them ran into, like it was the 06 Pistons who ran into Shaq and D-Wade. Or the 73 Celtics who ran into the Knicks. Or the 86 Lakers, it was Samson and Olajuwon. At least you have Hall of Famers beat us in that situation. They have 3 20-point scorers in their starting lineup. All of NBA history, the number 1 seeds that have had that. The St. Louis Hawks with Bob Pettit, West Wilton Elgin, and twice the KD Steph Clay Warriors. That's all this team has. For this team to not make the finals, when Giannis is dealing with a calf, Embiid's limping around, and Jimmy Butler is out weeks, would be a historic choke job.
Especially, and I get it, it's a little different because they have Porzingis. They made the finals.
Yeah.
With this point, you know what? We need
what he's done is work. Look, you're just saying if they were to lose.
If they lose, I like it.
Okay,
I'm
good.
just saying if they lose, it's a yellow brick road to the finals.
That you agree with that, right?
And last year,
the
enemy now.
finals and something weird.
Wait, if you get to the Eastern, hold on a second.
My
What
sentiments as
game
well.
are you making?
I don't know. I'm not firing Missoula. I like Missoula. I like him.
They were a great team.
My
when he took
sentiments
over.
as well.
And they would have gone.
And now they're better.
How? They got to the finals without him.
Yeah, I mean, again,
So be it.
again, we are. This is
Not
not going to
firing
be clear to the audience because it's if you just
Now we're all the way to the
right.
Celtics
Well,
in the
look,
finals.
I got him in the finals, so I don't
That
think he's
was
going to
my
get fired.
thought.
So do I. He should, but if they get beat.
Right. The context of the conversation is if they
Silent
make the
is
finals,
mist.
there is no excuse. To me, such a unique and beautiful sport
You're too
is
noisy
because
to live.
no matter how great a team is, if you run into a true legend,
If you run into Giannis in a game and Dame wins a game,
No,
Let's see if Giannis is 100%.
yes, of course. But right now, Giannis is not playing. Right now, we're worried about Giannis's Achilles tendon. So that's the point I was kind of trying to get to make is, in basketball, I typically don't think chokes are fair. If it's the answer is you didn't choke, a legendary player beat you. My point is, the East has 3 legendary adjacent guys in it, and they're all hurt.
Right.
So, the 1 seed and the bracket goes. That's exactly right.
I'm saying if it's game 7 in Boston and Dame has 50
You
points.
lose a game 7 at home to a Celtics team.
Agreed.
Don't touch the Cowboys next.
Very well.
That's how they made their 1 finals, was a game 7 where someone missed a shot.
Not firing.
What do you mean the connecting rooms were not confirmed?
Exactly.
Yes.
We should just see our clear.
Radiant structures are fortified.
For the stay.
Golden silence. The enemy's top barracks is fallen. You now have magnitudes.
Bring it up. Get 2.9% APR financing for up to 38 months on the GD7 exclusively to your local Genesis retailer.
The enemy's middle tower has fallen.
This is not just a stop.
My bones.
That's all the technical skills. People skills. Lifelong skills.
Look at the salt on that dress, Dos Equis. After 2 billion years on the ground, that salt could have ended up in a half-empty box and a half-empty pantry. But now, it's lucky enough to find itself circling an authentic Mexican Dos Equis. Congratulations, son. From where you sit now, it's clear your patience paid off handsomely.
When you prefer dream vacation over a rental nightmare, it matters where you stay. Embassy Suites by Hilton. Hilton for the stay.
The best anchors in the world. The PFL is ready. It's the Bassmaster Elite Series, Saturday and Sunday morning on